In this video, I'll explain to you how BookBolt works. I'm going to show you how the BookBolt platform actually works, how you can get started with it, and how to create your first book. After watching this video, you will know everything that you need to know regarding BookBolt. Now, if you want to follow along this tutorial, do make sure to click the link down below to sign up for a free trial. And there will also be a discount code for you, but more on that later. Once you choose my link, you sign up, and all of that is done, you're going to be headed into this place over here, okay? This is basically your research tab, okay? It's the dashboard feature tab. Now, first of all, you get two options here, research or create. You're going to be in research normally. And once you're in the research tab, there are 10 different tools within BookBolt when it comes to researching. Okay, as you can see, tutorials, products, seller, cloud, book scout, favorites, keywords, KDP categories, KDP Spy, and BookBolt lister. Okay, you have all these features, and I'm going to be discussing every single one of them, so please do make sure to keep on watching. Now, first of all, let's go ahead into the products tab. Okay, now in the products tab, you can do a lot of stuff. Okay, and the best of those is, first of all you're going to need to do is you're just going to put in any random keyword that you want to. Okay, so let's say I'm going to put in the keyword dog, because dog stories are pretty common. And then you're going to go with any category. You could go with puzzle book, activity book, comic book, etc., etc. I'm just going to go with general, and I'm going to click on search. And let's see what we get. And the fun part about this is that you can put in keywords to do a lot of research on your pricing, results, and category. So as you can see, I put in my keyword and I got all these searches. So you can see keywords, dog, total results, 100, average BSR, which is your bestseller rate. The bestseller rate, which is the average for dogs, is 3,579,000. The lowest price of these books, as you can see, is $3.73, and the highest price is $17.99. And you can also see the average price. So, if you're selling or making a book or a KDP book on dogs, you know where to ballpark the price around. Okay, and once you place the keyword in, you can see all these top books that are going to pop up with, full ratings and great reviews, notebook for dog lovers, large print coloring book of dogs word search. So, these come according to their rating when it comes to their keywords. So these are the top books that are going to pop up for you. Now, on the right-hand side, you can see the related keywords and the keyword count. Okay, you have these two things. Now you're probably wondering what this is. So first of all, the keyword count is different keywords that are associated in these KDP books that we've searched, and the amount of number counts that the words have in these books. So for example, dog is in this case used 243 times in these books on an average. Book is used 113, coloring, dogs, lovers, notebook, journal, all these words, as you can see, are your basic keyword counts. Then obviously there's related keywords, okay? And in related keywords, you can also see you have all the related keywords that you can use with dogs. For example, dog is a very common keyword. A lot of people use this. So you can use any other related keyword to it, like dog. You have dogs, dogs for dogs, stuff like that. So these are famous keywords that will put you pretty high up in the ranking, basically. So that's about it when it comes to the products tab. Let's switch over to the sellers tab. Now, this is your basic sellers tab, and in this tab, basically, you can do research on your competitors and you can analyze their performance. So basically, if we write any seller name, so let's go over here. We're going to write Amazon KDP. Okay, we're just going to write that, and we're going to go ahead and find some Amazon book publishers. Okay, so basically, once you go to any Amazon book and you find a seller who has books pretty similar to yours, so let's say again I'm gonna go with dogs or dog. Now when it comes to dogs, you can see Zach George. Okay, let's say this person is making books on dogs, he has a bestseller. You can come here, I'm gonna write his name, Zach George, and he is most likely going to come over here. Okay, and look at this. So when it comes to Zach George, they're gonna obviously go ahead and find all the books that he has. As you can see, loading more items. It keeps on loading and loading and loading, where you can actually see if your, competitive seller, or, in some words, opponent in the same category of your selling has better books than you, or what price he's selling those books off of, or more stuff like that. So, it's a pretty relative, you could say, competitive way of looking through someone's, data and stuff like that, just to keep tabs on them, basically. And it's not a very, in my opinion, not a very used tool, I'd say. And again, if I were to give you an example, in this case, this author is called Queenston House. So again, if I were to go into my seller journal, I'm going to write Queenston House. Okay, we're going to go ahead and write that. And obviously, we're going to start getting books from the author Queenston House. So look at this. Then you can obviously start taking tabs on them. You can see their average bestseller rate. You can see their lowest prices, highest prices, average prices. You can see the keyword counts they use to actually get high sells and all of that. It's not a very highly useful tool, but obviously you can use it. Like, you don't necessarily need to use it, but you can use it if you want to keep tabs on someone you want to keep an eye out for. Okay, so now that we've discussed the seller tab, we're going to switch over to the cloud tab. So now, once everything about the sellers tab is done, let's move over to the cloud tab. Now, the cloud tab is a very interesting tab, okay, because it is one of the most important features when it comes to BookBolt, okay? Cloud tab is amazing for research purposes on best selling books per category, okay? So BSR, which I told you previously, means your best seller range, okay? Your bestseller rate, basically. So it's your bestseller rank, bestseller rate, and the cloud feature utilizes this quality or this quantity, and by using it, it gives you a lot of different details and datas on best-selling books, okay? So first of all, what you're going to need to do is you're going to search a factor. So it could be top 100, top 200, 300, 400, 500, whatever you want. So let's say I'm going to go with 200 for now. And the category, that could be whatever you desire. It could be a notebook, music sheets, coloring book, planner. I'm going to go with coloring book because they're commonly pretty famous. And then in the bestseller ranks, I'm going to keep it quite low. Let's say I'm going to keep it in the 45,000. So I want the top 45,000 coloring books in the world. And the price range, I want it under $30. Okay, we don't want to make it too expensive. And then obviously, you're going to put in any keyword, which in the case you want to put a keyword. You don't necessarily need to put a keyword when it comes to the cloud feature. But let's say, for this case, I'm going to put in dog. Okay. Now, once you put in dog coloring book and you set everything, so bestseller rank under 45,000, price range under $30, let's go ahead and check things out. So you have cute animal coloring books, amazing dog coloring books, and a whole lot. So we get 4 different books detailed out. And once we actually see this, you can start seeing this data about them, right? So you know what? Let's broaden the spectrum a bit. I'm going to go top 100, keep the BSR range over there. I'm going to broaden the price a bit because obviously if there's bestsellers, yeah, there we go. Now, once you check these things out, you can see that these 4 books are one of the top 100 bestsellers under this bestseller rank, okay? And the category is obviously, as you can see, as I stated, coloring book. Price range under, as I told you, 45,000 BSR, which is the best. Price range would be, genuinely around 0 to 100 or 10 to $100. And the keyword, obviously, right now I've said dogs. To even broaden the spectrum out, you could just, click space or dash or something like that, or just keep it empty and you can search it up and you can start seeing all these books, okay? And keywords are pretty important features in this because with keywords, you can further categorize the actual books that you have. You can do different, coloring books about animals, about the ocean, about sports, anything that you actually want to genuinely do research on. And then obviously, as you can see, once I've searched the top 100 coloring book price range in this PSR range under 50,000, no keyword, you can start seeing these things. So, let's say this book over here, Mindful Patterns Coloring Book. You can see the author name, the publishers, you can see the reviews. It's a 4.5 star review with the, 1,264 ratings. You can see the ASIN number, the publication date. You can see their price. Currently, it's totally free, apparently. In the BSR, its bestseller rank is 196, and the estimated monthly sales is 800. Average BSR for past 30 days is 295, and the estimated moving average sales is 733. And same goes with all these books. You can start seeing their stats, their data, and the best thing about the cloud feature is it analyzes results shortly, okay? And it saves you a lot of time, okay? It saves you so much time, which is why it's such a useful feature. Like, to normally gain all of this data that it gives you in the matter of seconds, you need to go on Google and search a bit about the book, about the author, maybe go on Wikipedia, maybe go on Amazon, go on their KDP page and stuff like that. And you have to do a lot of research, which takes you, around 15 to 20 minutes, maybe even more. But when it comes to BookBold's cloud feature, you get it in a matter of seconds, and the most of the information, the useful information, is just summarized and put right in front of you. So as you can see, it's a really useful feature, and you can use it for research to recreate similar good selling books. So once we've actually discussed about all the cloud features, let's go over to the Book Scout tab. So now this is the Book Scout tab. Okay, and before we get into the Book Scout tab, again, I'd like to share some information with you. BookBold, again, is an amazing platform, but it does have its pricings. Although, if you do use the link in the description that I provided below, okay, you're gonna get a discount code, okay? You're gonna get a free trial and also a discount code, and I'm gonna talk about that later on more till the end of the video. But do make sure to check that link out, okay? There's a free trial over there, and you're gonna get a discount code, and I'm gonna mention the discount code in the end of the video, so please do make sure to fully watch till the end. Now, once we're in the Book Scout tab, this is the tab where you can look up the unique book code, okay, which is your ASIN basically. Every book has its certain ASIN. It's like a serial code number, or maybe it's like your national identity number, okay? Or maybe your social security number. Everyone has their own unique number, just the way books have an ASIN. It's basically a unique number that they've been given through the publishers that they've published through. And you can basically, let's say I'm going to go on products. Okay, I'm going to pick off the ASIN of some random book. So let's say this is the ASIN I'm going to pick off of. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to come here on Book Scout. It's called Notebooker dot lovers. So let's say I pick this ASIN off of some, Google product place or something like that. And I want to actually see, detailed analysis about this book, where I want to see actual detailed data about this book. So we're going to search it up and look at this. You can actually see so much data about this book, okay? And you can get a lot of information about any type of certain book that you actually fancy. So as you can see, you can start seeing the title. You can start seeing the description if there is any. Then you can start seeing the keywords used in this book, and you can see the ranking that they have on the international bookseller rankings. You can see the total items counted. So 5-star notebook is, counted a lot. The search volume for these keywords is a lot, and you can start copying off these keywords off of these really famous books, obviously to help yourself. So obviously, once we've talked about the Book Scout tab, let's move over to the Favorites tab, okay? So here's your Favorites tab. Let's get straight ahead into this. Now, the Favorites tab isn't really interesting in my opinion. It's just a place where you can save your favorite books so you can have a look at them another time. So if you go on products, okay, and you like any book, you can choose it in your favorites and you can just keep them here. And as you can see, currently it says no product saved because I don't have any books in my favorites. But if you do, you're going to see them over here. Again, not a very useful place, but if you enjoy a book, or if you, like a competitor's book and you want to, take some ideas off of that book, you can keep it in your favorites so, it never loses your sight. So basically, that's what the favorites tab is for. Again, in some cases, it might be helpful, but in my opinion, I don't use it a lot. So yeah. And once we've talked about that, let's move on to the keywords tab. Now, on this tab, you can basically search relevant keywords. Okay. So again, let's come back to the dog keyword. Now, once you write dog, let's see what it gives us. Okay. Look at this. It starts giving us relevant keywords to dog because obviously dog is a very common word. Like maybe 99 out of 100 people use that word in their books. Okay. So you probably want to use keywords that are unique and similar to the word dog. So you can see cat, dog, accessories for dogs. So these are a bit unique, and you can also see their usage. So the competition for cat, dog is low. Dog accessories for dog is pretty high, and you can start seeing their usages and their competition. You can start seeing the CPC, okay, which is basically your cost per click. So basically, it's how much people have actually clicked and how much money has this clicked actually made. Then there's the Google SV, which is your Google search volume. So people have searched up dog accessories for dogs 27,000 times, which is a crazy number. Okay, and this is the Amazon search volume. So people have searched this on Amazon 18,000 times. So as you can clearly see, you can see the relevant keywords and the relevant data about it. Okay, so once we've discussed about the keywords tab, let's go to the KDP category finder tab. Okay, so this is the KDP categories finder, and this basically takes you to a new tab. And on the KDP finder, basically, you can write any keyword you want. So let's say, again, we're going to go with dog. And once you go on dog, you can start finding relevant categories to your keyword. So let's say I wrote dog. You can start seeing the relevancy. So you can, first of all, the base category, which is going to be calendars. In calendars, you get the secondary category, which is animals. And then obviously you get dogs. Then same with children's book, animals, dogs, children books, animal, dogs, fiction, humor and entertainment, humor, cats, dogs, and animals, etc., and so on. It keeps going on, and you can get, different information like this about your book, about, different categories that you can use for your book, if you're going for a very successful KDP book. This is the type of tools that you're actually going to want to be using because they're extremely useful, extremely helpful, and they will not make you regret your decision on buying BookBolt. So, once we've discussed KDP Category Finder, we're going to go to the second last tool that we're going to be discussing. Okay, this is basically the KDP Spy. Now, the KDP Spy, okay, is a Chrome extension. And when you add this Chrome extension to your browser, so obviously I already have it, so I don't really need to add it. So what the KDP Spy does for you is KDP Spy basically starts taking out information about the KDP books while you're browsing it. Okay, so let's say I'm going to come here. So you can see a lot of KDP books here. Now I'm going to activate this, add-on. And once you do that, you're going to get this thing. So you're going to, search up a keyword. I'm going to search up the keyword dog, and obviously it's going to give me dog books over here and the related keywords. You can see the Google search volume, cost per click. You can see their competition, Amazon search volume, etc. But if you really want to search something in depth, you can just, go on the search option, click on start, and look at that. It starts, picking the books that you've seen on this page, and it gives you all their data about it. So you can get the ASIN, you get the prices, their BSR, their ratings, estimated sales, estimated revenue, author, published on, and a whole lot more. So, pretty great stuff. And I like KDP Spy a lot because, it's convenient because as we're browsing, we can collect information. So, yeah. That's pretty much about it when it comes to the research tab. Now, if I were to talk about the most useful tool from this dashboard, I'd say it's definitely the cloud feature. Okay, you will be using this one the most if you use BookBolt because this is where you can get the most information out of books. Okay, and you can use the information you use from these books to create your own popular books. Okay, so I'd say again, the cloud feature is unbeaten and in my opinion works the best when it comes to BookBolt's data surrounding. So once we have talked about all of that, let's move over to the fun stuff. Okay, this was obviously BookBolt's research section. Let's head over to the create section. Now, once you go to the create section, you get two options. Obviously, we're going to go with BookBolt Studio. Now, BookBolt Studio is basically a type of studio where you can start making your very own KDP journal or maybe KDP book, planner, whatever you want. You can start making it over here. So once we go into the BookBolt Studio, it's going to ask us to log in with our credentials, and obviously you're going to log in and everything. And once you do that, it's going to bring you here. Now, once you come over here, you're going to go over to project, okay? And you're going to click on new project. Now, once you do that, you can start different types of projects, okay? You can make a paperback cover and interior, which is basically cover and interior both, obviously. You can make only the paperback cover. You can make only the interior. Then you can also make hardcovers. Paperback is obviously for digital stuff. Hardcover, on the other hand, is obviously hardcover, proper books that are going to be in your hands and stuff. So I'm going to go with paperback, okay? I'm going to go with paperback cover and interior. I'm going to name the project example, okay? And once we do that, we're going to set a trim size of 8.5 and 11. So here we go. Trim size is obviously the size of the pages in your book. So I'm keeping 8.5 by 11 because that's the best size for a puzzle book, and that is exactly what I'm going to be showing you on how we're going to make. And then also there's the interior and paper type, okay? So you're going to make sure that it's black and white if you're going with, a very basic default book look. So once you do that, there's bleed, okay? Now, if you don't know what bleed is these, peach borders, which tell you to, they give you a grid to keep your workings and editings inside. Because bleed is the place where your pages get cut when they're getting printed. So obviously bleed is pretty necessary, so I'd keep it that way. And then page count, I'm going to keep it at 30. Okay, I'm going to ballpark that around 30, and there we go. We have created our project. Now, once we have done that, let's first of all go ahead and start discussing about things. I'm going to go on my first page over here. Now on the first page, we're going to start discussing about two things: book texts and elements. So first of all, there's the elements tab up here. Okay, here's elements where you can add different types of shapes. Okay, you get rectangle, square, ellipsis, circle, star, etc. Whatever type of shape. And you can get all kinds of things. You can get Pac-Man, a cloud, butterfly, paw print, diamond, a moon, whatever you want. So let's say I'm going to go ahead and add some, rectangles. So here you go. I've added a rectangle. I'm going to set its shape, increase the size a bit as so. I'm going to make it a bit smaller, and I'm going to scroll it up here. There we go. So once you've done that, obviously you're going to start adding text panels, okay? To add text panels, we're going to come down here where it says text, obviously, and we're going to start adding panels. So now when it comes to text, obviously there's a lot of things at play. So first of all, you're, going to add some title. So I'm going to just call it Puzzle Mania. Okay, we're going to call it that. Now, once we've added our name, obviously you're going to want to choose your font size, because that's one of the most important things when it comes to, choosing a decent font. I'm going to make it a bit smaller. Okay, so we made it smaller. Then you're going to choose the color. Obviously, we have a black box, so I'm going to keep white text over it. So there's the book title. Okay, it's Puzzle Mania. Then you can also add your name down here in the bottom. So let's say I'm going to come here. I'm going to add written, or you can, write illustrated by John. Okay, we're just going to add that small snippet, and we're just going to line that up right here. Okay, and again, as I said, keep it in these bleed sections. Okay, this is basically your bleed. These are the grids. You want to keep it inside, because if it goes outside, people will not be able to see because it's going to get cut. Okay, and by now, you're probably seeing how similar this all is to a software that is pretty famous nowadays. Yes, I'm talking about Canva. Now, Canva is the same as this. You use elements, texts, and other things to play around with this. Now, basically, what you're going to need to do if you want to get really artistic, is that you can also play around with this and use Canva at the same time. Because the similarities in them are obviously there, but they work together even better because, you can add some artistic stuff through Canva. Although BookBolt does not hold back when it comes to artistic stuff, but obviously integrated with Canva, it can do a lot of wonders if it could. So basically, that's customizing your book with text and elements. Now, actually, let's talk about adding images, okay? When it comes to adding images, here you go. This is where you add images. You're going to click on File Library, and you can see you can start getting a list of images over here. Now, basically, BookBolt has an Unsplash and Pixabay integration up here, okay, as you can see, where you can actually add yourself some free images, okay, that you can use for your cover. So let's say I'm going to write dog over here, because just to give you an example. So I'm going to write dog. Look at that. You get dog images. Or I could write puzzle because obviously in our case, it's a puzzle book and it would make more sense to add a puzzle. So you can look at this, start getting all these puzzle books. So obviously you can use these images for your cover. Okay. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to use File Library and we're going to go ahead with this. Okay. This one looks nice. And we're going to add a nice old cover into our main section. And I'm just going to make it a tad bit bigger because it's like coming under the bleed and I don't want it to come under the bleed. There we go. And then you can obviously add the same title you've added here, Puzzle Mania, and no need to think that, oh, you might have to do this all over again. Don't worry. Trust me, just select it all like this, copy it using Control C, come here, paste it, and then obviously while choosing all of this, just come over here. There you go. As so. That's how you can obviously mess around with all of this. And obviously remember to mess around with the alignment as much as you can because the alignment matters a lot. But yeah, there you go. You add an image for your cover, then you can go same with the back cover, okay? Because, if you do one, you will do the another, as so. Now, once we've discussed about all of that, let's talk about the templates library, okay? So basically, the templates library is over here. This is the interior template library, okay? And these are a few different templates that you can see from these libraries. You can get rule fields, journals, Mindfinder, Hangman, Crossword, Sudoku, word search, Honeycomb Maze, monthly to-do list, maybe for your planners, body measurement tracker, etc., etc. Now, for our case, obviously, we're going to use some puzzles over here. Now, this is a really useful feature, obviously, because you can create different kinds of interior for your books with different kinds of templates. You can use graphs, you can use dot graphs, blank and rule journal, rule with field, music sheets, room grids, and a whole lot more. And it all depends on the style of your work and the style of your book, obviously. So let's talk about how we're going to create a puzzle book. So I'm going to move on to the second page. I'm going to go to the template library. Now, we're going to come here. And let's say I'm going to go with a basic word search puzzle. Or maybe, what's easier is a crossword puzzle. And then once you do that, you can start choosing, a few pages where you can actually add crosswords. In our case, I'm just going to go with 2. Then you can, choose your margins. So I just like to keep it at 111. Then there's fonts that you can choose from. I prefer Abaya Libre. I always keep it defaulted at that. You can choose the font size for the words in the crossword. You can use the stroke width of the words. You can use the line color using the fonts. Now, this is the important part because this is where you're going to have to choose a CSV file. Now, they've also given an example of what kind of CSV file you're going to need to use. So look at this. This is an example. So on the left-hand side, you're going to give the answers. On the right-hand side, you're going to get clues. So this is how it's supposed to be. Now, in this case, obviously, I'm going to just go ahead and add their own crossword example just to, get the whole thing going on over here. So I'm going to keep it max word 7 because obviously there's just a total of 7 words. And once you do that, add clues. Yeah, I'm going to click on that. Solution placement, obviously, after all puzzle pages because no one likes a book with no solutions. And once you do that, you're going to choose the solutions and you're going to click on submit. Now, as you can see, it gave us an error. Now, why did it do that? Because we only have 7 words and I've chosen 2 pages. Okay. So obviously you're going to choose the pages according to the words you have. So I've chosen the words, I've chosen the solution page. I'm going to click on submit and there you go. As so, it did no issue this time. And obviously you can increase the size of it because obviously we don't want people to not being able to see anything on the page. So I'm going to increase the size, keep it in the grids, and there you go. Now obviously you can't see a lot on the laptop screen, but trust me, when people look closely into it, look at that. So you can see across clues, down clues. Same with this case, you're going to come on this page and you can start seeing the solutions. So how cool and amazing is that? It's so fun to actually work with this stuff, and it's just really incredible stuff. So, yeah, that's basically how you can create a puzzle book on different pages. And in Book Bowl, the fun thing is that you can actually do everything into one place. You can create different interiors, and you don't need any extra software to create puzzle pages, okay? And you do need to customize these templates, although, as I did. So you can also customize them more. Like, let's say I'm going to change the color to black. Then there's the color of the text. Let's say I want it to be, purple or something like that. Just to, give you an example of how these type of things actually work. So yeah, basically, that's the general idea of when it comes to using your template libraries. Now, why is BookBolt actually great for your puzzle books? Now, when it comes to puzzle books are great sellers in the market, but creating them is a bit of a hectic task. People spend hours and hours creating their own puzzles when you can just use BookBolt, make an Excel file, and yeah, just create tons and tons of different types of puzzles in one go. Now, the reason why BookBolt is amazing for puzzle books is number one, you have no issue with copyright because every puzzle is absolutely unique, okay? You will not be copying off of any other user or any other, author. You're going to be creating absolutely authentic stuff. Number two is that it's extremely easy to create. And that's a pretty big banger when you think about it. Because as you clearly saw, as I showed you, all you're going to need to do is make an Excel file and you're pretty much good to go. And even in the Excel file, just give names, clues, and yeah, that's your crossword puzzle basically. So pretty easy to create. Then obviously, BookBolt in itself is a great software to create different puzzle books, okay? And there's not just one puzzle. You could do word search puzzles, maze puzzles, Sudoku puzzles, and a whole lot of other stuff. And then you can also sell it at a higher price because if essentially right now you're just making it for free. So, any profit, like even if you get $1 of profit, it's profit, trust me. So, you can just sell it at a pretty higher price and people actually buy it because who doesn't like a puzzle book? People are going on vacations and stuff and, they're maybe on a 32-hour plane flight and they want to just complete puzzles. So, that's why they buy it. Now, let's also discuss about creating Sudoku puzzles. So that's why, as you can see, I'm on a new page and we're going to click on Sudoku. So right now I'm just going to choose one page for Sudoku as so. Okay. And Sudokus, the fun thing about Sudokus is that you can choose different types of pages on the puzzle interior. And one more fun thing about the Sudoku puzzle is that you can go ahead. Wait, I'm going to go on 10 pages. Let's go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So this should be 10 pages of Sudoku puzzles, okay? So once you do that, you're going to click on next. Once you click on next, you're going to choose your font wisely, choose all the colors. Again, I'm going to go with some nice open vibrant colors. So there we go. I'm going to go with this, okay. I'm going to go with the line color, do this, okay. Solid color, that, okay. And then the solution placement, I'm going to go with after all puzzle pages. I'm going to keep it at hard, obviously, because we want the difficult to be, pretty good. And the size, I'm going to keep it 16 by 16 so it can be as big as it can be. Once you do that, you're going to click on next. Solutions, obviously, are going to go as so with the other pages. And after you do that, it starts loading in with your thing. So as you can see, it starts inserting the different templates. So look at this stuff. And every page is unique. Look at this. So I'm going to go on this page. It's totally different. I'm going to go on this page. Totally different. If you doubt me, you can just pause the video and check that it's actually different. And now that we've seen 10 pages of Sudoku puzzles, let me show you their solutions. So let me just wait for the solutions to load in. There we go. Look at that. There's the solutions for every puzzle. And it's so amazing because Sudokus are searching and they're selling on Amazon amazingly. Like, you have no idea how quick Sudokus actually sell. So if I were to go ahead and write Amazon Sudokus, you can see it's selling tons and tons of Sudoku books. So I'm going to go here, Amazon Sudoku, and look at that. You get all these bestsellers. Look at their ratings. 2,860 ratings. It goes for $7.95. This goes for $7.89. This goes for $9.99. It has 7,000 reviews. You can only review on Amazon if someone has bought your product. So this product was bought 7,627 times with $9.99 at its price. So this is how well Sudokus are actually selling, and this could be a really big plus point for you. And even if, like, let's say I'm going to give you an example of how the interior of these books actually look like. Look at this. This, like in my case, what I did on Book Bowl looks much better than this. This is a 16 by 16, yes. But in terms of, how open it is and how well the designs go with each other, I'd say our looks better. So that's how amazing it is. And you can actually recreate a best-selling Sudoku book, okay? So let's say, we have this over here. So we have a box, small box, and in those boxes, you have 2 more boxes of Sudoku. So let me show you how you can replicate something like that. So I'm going to go on the first page over here. Okay. Obviously, for this, the Sudoku box needs to go a bit smaller, as so. And I'm going to take another Sudoku box. Wait, do make sure to save your stuff when you're leaving the page. So once you do this, go to another Sudoku box, as so. I'm going to go here, copy on it. Once you copy on it, click on OK, come here. I'm going to paste it. Once you paste it, bring it here. I'm going to bring this a bit up. Now, we're going to go in shapes. And once we are in shapes, we're going to go with a transparent rectangle. And obviously, this rectangle should be fairly transparent. There we go. And we're going to give it some lines. Okay, we're going to give the lines a bit stroke. Obviously, to mess around with the stroke, you can give it a little border radius if you want to. You can add a stroke, as so, over there in the line. You can add a shadow on top of it if you want to, or you can just change the fill color. That totally depends on you, obviously. But in general, what I mean is that you can get a transparent box, surround it, as we saw in the bestseller book, surround it as so. Bring this down here. Wait, I'm going to expand it a bit more. There we go. So once you've created this box around it, again, as I said, you're gonna start adding some borders around it. And those borders obviously can be added by doing this. And you can edit some stuff into it if you want to. You can mess around with its opacity, mess around with its border radius, and a whole lot of other things, okay? So really interesting stuff, as you can clearly see. So once you've done all of this, okay, from here on out, what are we actually going to be doing? So from here on out, what's going to happen is you're going to start adding the text, okay? Because obviously we're implicating this book over here. So number 159, number 160, you're just going to add it on top of these text. You're just going to add their numbers, and you're just going to start replicating them. And that's how you're going to replicate best-selling Sudoku books, okay? And this is easily how you can make your own design look very professional, okay? This is really simple, really easy, and it's really great and amazing stuff. So yeah, once we've actually talked about all that, that pretty much almost brings us to the end of this tutorial and review. So one last thing that I actually want to discuss to you is the pricing. So the pricings of BookBolt is as so. The newbie plan goes off for $9.99 per month. The pro plan goes for $19.99 per month. And they both obviously go pretty well with each other, because the newbie plan brings you 3-day free trial, keyword product research, cover interior designs, okay? You get Amazon search volume, you get KDP Spy, 24/7 customer support. Okay, then there's the Pro plan, $19.99 per month. Same things, but the only addition is that you can get puzzle creation software included. Okay, now obviously going for the Pro plan is the best because it has the puzzle book feature, and as I showed you, puzzles look amazing, and obviously puzzles are in the rise nowadays. They're pretty popular and a lot of people buy them. So I would recommend going with a puzzle book. And I'd say the yearly option is a bit cheaper, obviously, because in this case, the yearly pro is $200. Now, if you multiply 20 by 12, that would be more than $200. That would be, I guess, $250. This, you're saving $40. So, yeah, obviously, the yearly is a bit cheaper, and I'd recommend you to try this out. Okay. Now, basically, once we're done with all of that, if you want to try BookBolt for yourself, okay, I will leave a personal link down in the description below, as I told you in the start of the video, and that link will get you a 3-day free trial. And if you want to get the premium plan, then use my coupon code. Yes, the code you've all been waiting for. The code is creator20, okay? CREATOR 20. This gives you a 20% discount on the premium plan. Again, I'm going to tell you my coupon code. It's creator20. Put it in while signing in and you're going to get a 20% discount. But yeah, apart from all of that, if I were to give you an honest review, BookBolt is an absolutely incredible software. Okay, you can save a lot of time for yourself by using this tool. It's absolutely resourceful. You can get so much data in the snap of a finger. You can generate your KDP books by paying almost nothing. Okay, in general, when it comes to generating KDP books, it takes a hefty price from you, but when you use BookBolt, yeah, it's a snap of a finger. It takes you about a second. And you can make a very easy living, okay, by selling KDP books. Because KDP books, as you saw, they go off for $10.99, $11.99, $15.99, sometimes $20 to $30. Okay, but that obviously depends on your category. But if you're going with coloring books or puzzle books, they might go for $10 or $8.99, $7.99. But the thing is that they sell in bulk, which means you're going to make more money, okay? So I would always go with quantity over quality when it comes to actually selling books. Lastly, if you want to try out BookBolt and use one of its incredible features and actually make a lot of money using KDP books, please do check the link in my description for your 3-day free trial, and do not forget to use my code Creator20 on the premium plan for a 20% discount. But yeah, that's pretty much about it for this video. I hope it was helpful. If it was, drop down a like, subscribe to the channel, and that's about it. Thank you for watching till the end, and I'll see all of you next time. Goodbye.